Hello and welcome everyone to the Season 6 UTA post-draft power rankings. I'm here with my lovely co-host Burger. Say hello, Burger.
Hello.
That's all. So obviously, for those of you who watched Power Rankings last season and the season before, you know that Burger usually does these. However, Burger this season's taking a break from recording from UTA, but he's not going to get away from videos and he's not going to get away from Power Rankings. So I made sure that he still did them, but no, I'll do them. So let me know, guys, if you like it this way or if you prefer Burger. Regardless. So this season's been interesting because a lot of teams are either
Bad.
either the teams are questionable or they're like really good to the point of where it's just kind of it's going to be extreme pain. And luckily it's not in our division, right, Burger?
Yeah, luckily.
Regardless, though, so we'll start off here with Exostomp Excadrills. And I put both of our grades up to start with. We actually agreed on this one. We both put an A minus. So, Burger, would you like to start off about Exo's team?
Alright, so Exo's team is looking pretty solid. Like you got the Sand Core with the Buzzwole. And Buzzwole's a great ground resist for the Sand Core. And so that's like obviously a great start. Sigui, Cinderace, Miltank, Dragalge, Primarina, Uxie, and Rotom, all pretty good mons in their own right. I don't think there's any sleeper bad mons on this team, which is probably the biggest high to it. Like everything is good. And I think it's just, yeah, that's when I'll start. Do you want to say anything about it?
Yeah, I really agree. Like, this is one of the rare teams that we have so far where, like, none of the mons are bad. I would say, realistically, the only thing about this team that I don't like is that its speed control is non-existent. The only thing that he's got on his team that actually can control speed is Weather with Excadrill and then Cinderace. When your second fastest mon on your team is a Miltank, I think there's a bit of a problem.
Yeah, there's a pretty disgusting speed gap. Like, Miltank's never running speed usually, so there's a pretty disgusting speed gap between Cinderace and Excadrill, which is not good.
Yeah, personally, the reason why I gave it an A minus was for two things in particular. Was the fact that he relies on Weather for any type of speed control, and giving that both of his fastest bonds, both in Weather and out of Weather, are weak to ground. That's not exactly the best. And also the fact that he doesn't have a Wish Passer. This team would have really benefited from a Wish Passer, especially with T-Tar to keep Sand up even longer, even into free switches into Excadrill, and then Buzzwole, since how many hits it wants to take. It would be really good for just to Wish Pass it, because it just would get so much more value out of it.
I think the removal is pretty bad on this team. Like, the Sigui is a decent remover, Rotom is meh, and then he has to rely on Court Change with Cinderace. I don't think it's the best.
Yeah, I mean, he does still have Spin on Excadrill, which could really come in handy as well, but...
I feel like the issue with running Spin on Excadrill, I think Excadrill is going to need to manhandle a lot of the late-game sweeping potential of the team, because as you said, the speed control is so bad that Excadrill is going to have to really maintain that end-game sweeping, where it's not going to want to be able to come in and take in Spin that much.
Yeah.
I think it's not going to be able to use this as a steal type well.
I kind of agree into that sense. I really do think this team is going to struggle with really like offensive teams, given the fact that T-Tar is really pressured for the win con of this team. I think most of these mons are never really going to become a win con, aside from Excadrill and possibly an offensive variant of Cinderace or Primarina even. So, given that stature, I do think that's like the one thing holding this team back to become like the #1 team or something. But go ahead.
Otherwise, it's a good team. He's got.
Oh yeah, so otherwise good team. Still an A minus.
He got
Still
some
good.
he got some pretty steel low tiers like Miltank, Dragalge, Uxie, and Rotom even to an extent.
Yeah, yeah. He definitely has mons that he got some good value for. Thankfully, he didn't keep the team that he had, where he had Lele and Credence.
Oh, that team was
and
garbage.
That he probably would have been the number 16 team. But he jumped all the way up just because of what, 3 changes? So either way,
he put DDA in 16th spot, so we all pray that it can.
Yeah, right. All right, so next one we have is Flygon, and for Flygon, real quick, so let me change the grades to what you gave it. So for Flygon, you gave a plus. Oops, I went the wrong one.
Yeah, this is my #1 team. This seems fun.
Oh yeah, this is by far like contention for
like
#1 team.
Pick.
Like, oh god, yeah. Honestly, this is a team that you probably tried to draft when you had Urshifu last season.
Probably. So he's got like a really strong core at the start. Urshifu Gengar is like a great core, plus a Clefairy, or not a Clefairy, a fucking Clefable, a
Clefable.
Slowking, Moltres, and Noivern to just pivot into them. Oh, it's so beautiful. And then you got the really underrated Mega Steelix. Mega Steelix is goated in this format. He's got really reliable Wish Pass into it from the Clefable, and if he doesn't want to run if he wants to run like Combine Clefable or Cosmic Power, he can just Wish Pass with the Audino into it to keep them on healthy. It's just a really nice team. He's got two rockers, good rockers in their own right. Fable and Mega Steelix are both pretty good. Mega Steelix is most of the time going to be the rocker. Yeah, it's just a good team.
Yeah, it's such a good team, and I just realized that I had it on EXO first for some reason again. But either way, so Unflagon's team, one of the only downsides of his team that I don't like is that all three of his defoggers are all weak to rocks. All exclusively. So
yeah,
while he's gonna be relying on heavy duty boots, he is knockoff prone, and that is one thing that his team kind of does struggle with, is that he doesn't really have anyone that wants to take a knockoff, because like while Urshifu, well yeah, Mega Steelix is the only mon that wants to take it realistically.
Yeah, Urshifu doesn't like to lose his item a lot.
Yeah, that's the point. Like Urshifu could take them, but he doesn't want to lose his item like ever. And if I'm correct, Urshifu's not a Z user. He doesn't even have a Z mon. Of course, EXO doesn't either, like I said before. But with Mega Steelix being the only mon that really wants to lose his item, that's a lot of pressure on Steelix for those things, especially. And with the once again the 4 times to resist the rock as well.
I will say as a note, if a team did not draft a Z user, I immediately I put it down a little bit in how I thought of the team. Because I think Z users in this format are so strong, especially if you have a really good abuser. Like if EXO had Z Excadrill, like that would be so nice.
Yes, I do think that Z is very strong in this format. I do think that some teams don't necessarily need a Z user. However, it's always invited.
I think the Z user just
Exo's teams, like honestly, I probably would have given it just a normal A instead of an A- if he had Excadrill Z.
Yeah, if Excadrill was a Z user, it would have put a little bit better for. We wouldn't talk about Excadrill's team, but it would put better for the offense.
Yeah, you judged people like a lot harshly for Z users for some reason, and I think it's a little bit hypocrisy.
I think users are so important in this format.
I think in how we
have them a lot. I think you need to counter the meta of the offensive mons that have a Z crystal. I think you need a way to counter back with offensive mons.
Yeah. It's definitely a good assessment of that. Realistically, there really isn't anything else wrong with this team. The one thing I didn't like is that he doesn't really have a ghost type counter until he got Audino. I was stressing it a lot for him that he needed a normal type, because that was the one thing that his team kind of just couldn't handle, was ghost types that were offensive. Specifically one that is in this tier, Spectre being that example.
You know what I will say? I'll say the other problem. I think he would have really liked a grass type on this team. This team does not break bulky waters that well. It basically is just Road and Frost. Nothing else really breaks them.
Yeah, no. The only other thing on this team that can break a bulky water is if that water type can't take Urshifu. But if he has a water type that can handle Urshifu, then he's going to have some trouble.
Yeah, he's about to get swept by fucking Subtoxic Protect Suicune. Let's go.
So, going on to the next team, we actually have your team next, Burrger. So, as I'm switching the grades for this, you can tell me about what you thought of your team.
Alright, so this is completely different than the team I originally drafted. I originally had 3 T1As and a T2 Mega. That's not working. My team was top heavy as fuck. I had 7 viable mons, so I was like, alright, let's change some shit up. Alright, so this is the team we got here. Garchomp is one of probably top 3 mons in the meta just because I have Z on it. Swords Dance Tail Shot with Z is absolutely nuts. Mew should have been a first round. Mew is absolutely goated in the format. This is not the order I picked it because I made transactions. I'm not picking round 3 Galvantula out here. But Galvantula is nice. Z webs with Garchomp's always gonna be cool. I have a different reason for wanting Galvantula. I'm not gonna say it just because I'm a little bit of a tryhard, but that's just how it is. Suicune's my baby. I love Suicune. It won last season. It's winning this season as well. So first 3-time championship mon. You know how it is. Talonflame's a mon I actually grew to really like recently. I've used it in a couple leagues. I think it's really good with boots. Virizion. I have Virizion for another specific reason, but I think Virizion with webs is pretty nice. It has a pretty bad speed tier with Galvantula, but it at least mitigates the drop from Talonflame, which is nice. We got Skuntank. I needed a dark type because there's a fucking Spectre in my division. I'm like, nope, we ain't having no Shadow Ball switchins. Also gives me a grounded poison because DDA likes to spam Toxic Spikes. We got Wiggles. We got young Wiggles who's gonna 6-0 DDA. He's not ready for Spec Spire Blast on his Melmetal. But realistically, I got Wigglytuff just because I need a fairy and I wanted another normal. I was like, you know what? Let's just grab this guy. He can wish pass him into my Mega Aggron. Stunfisk. I got Stunfisk for literally one fucking reason. It's because my team was 6-0'd by Coco. That's literally the only reason I drafted Stunfisk. Stunfisk is a good rocker as well. And Mega Aggron's a bulky boy. I needed a steel type. Yeah. I have. Yeah. That's my team. I think my team's pretty cool.
Yeah, I really do like your team in the sense of that it's just a fucking annoyance with the pivots between Suicune, Mega Aggron, and Wigglytuff. It's gonna be really annoying just to try to break those three. For most mons, because Aggron can soak up any physical attack that Wigglytuff doesn't want to handle, and vice versa for special attacks for Aggron. The reason why I gave it a B, and I'm assuming why you give yourself only a B plus and as well, is because you noticed some things that like I noticed is that like your team is extremely top heavy. I think you're bringing Skunk Tank to maybe a game. You obviously are only bringing Sunfist to the Coco game. And that's kind of where it is. You just.
I have another game I already saw him bringing it to.
I don't think there's another game you're bringing it to. Like realistically,
I can tell
to get
you
as much pressure.
After the camp.
All right. Well.
Listen, it's when I fight Spooks in finals to beat a 0 aura.
Okay. Well, I mean in the normal season.
I don't think it's as top heavy as you say. I think Virizian's a good mon in the format.
Oh yeah, Virizian's a great head. That's what I was saying. Like Garchomp, Mew, Suicune, and then Virizion with like Mega Aggron, Talonflame, Conventional, and Wigglytuff being your swaps. Because like you had the core 4, and I don't think there's going to be really any matchups where you don't bring those core 4. Maybe aside from 1, maybe 2. So when I'm saying top heavy, it's just that like you kind of can predict your team, and then this is something that you are very known for, where your team is very predictable in what comes to matches. However, you're finally building some versatility in, for example, Mew can build literally any set. And the fact that Wigglytuff can be offensive sometimes. Oh yeah, for some reason Spooks hates Mew, and I agree with him that Mew is definitely not, is a little overhyped, but not to the extent of where it doesn't deserve its hype, grand of the sense. So moving forward, we actually have North's team. North's team is really interesting because I don't even have to change yours. North's team is really interesting because I think that it's so good. Like I think some people are a little bit underestimating just how annoying this team's going to be. I mean, you picked up Stunfisk almost exclusively for this team. Having the Coco Mega Medi is is the core team that went to finals last season. It didn't win, but it got countered by a sand team, which it's like the one thing that can break this team.
It got hacked out.
Hacked out. And speaking of which, obviously, given that North knows their sand team in his division, except he has 3 mons that are completely immune to ground and 1 that resists as well. On the fact that it only is 2 weak.
Sand teams from being real.
Yeah, I think he does really well against it. I think he really made sure to build around that one weakness. And there's not going to be too much else that this team is going to have a problem with, given the fact that Coco Mega Medi is really just going to destroy anything. Bronzong and Vaporeon easily switch in Swellow for Boom Burst anytime it wants. It even throws on a web user for the Mega Champ if it really needs it. I just think this team really works out well.
But what do we got here? Let me go look at these rooms. We got Coco. We got Swellow.
And that's it for its removal.
Oh no. I'm looking at this team. I'm looking at some Spike stack. I'm looking at some Hazard stack for this team. Really nice. One thing I do think is cool, Niche, you got double Pursuit for Mega Medi, which is like super solid to trap both ghost types, all the ghost types. But like, this team needs some better removal, definitely. The removal is so, especially on this type, like, it's not even a team that relies on boots that much. So like, except for like Vikable, nothing really runs boots. Maybe Coco does sometimes.
Yeah.
But I think removal is gonna be a bit of an issue for this team. I also think what was I also thinking? I can't remember what my other thought was, if I'm being real.
Well,
you talk while I think.
The one thing I will say is I definitely agree with the fact that its removal is fairly lackluster. It's one of the reasons why I gave it an A- and nothing stronger. And it does overlap in electric types, but obviously Vigavolt doesn't share anything that Coco's weak to, so that kind of works out. And it also shares dark types. Yeah, it does. It really does, because it covers.
Like Well, it doesn't cover steel actually.
It doesn't cover steel, nor does Vikafold get coverage for steel. But overall, though, other than like the removal and the fact that this team's like heavy, like this is more top heavy than you are to an extent. But just a really good team overall. And do you think you remembered what your thing was, or no?
I don't remember, unfortunately. This is not good. North, your team is beautiful. North is goated, but there's something wrong with your team that I don't remember.
Oh, he doesn't have a fire type. Maybe that's it.
It might be that. The fire types are pretty nice in the format, especially
he
because
can't. Yeah.
Fucking boot.
Yeah, because without having a fire type as well, it means he's really relying on Mega Medi and Crocodile to break steel types.
He has a Renarigus ball.
I mean, Renarigus isn't really going to be breaking steel types.
I don't like. I will say
more.
I don't like Renarigus at all on this team. I think he just drafted it for the ghost type. I think.
True. I mean, I do think it's like one of those things where it's ghost type and T-Swags as well.
I think he. I mean, I think he could just gone regular Gabagger, if I'm being real. Still on the board.
Yes, but that's more expensive.
No, it isn't. Same price. Both T3.
Is it?
Yep. They're both right there in T3.
Oh. Huh. Well, never mind then. Yeah, I think Kafagrigus probably was better in that situation.
Maybe I think Crocodile was a great pick though. I think
Crocodile worked for this team.
I think Crocodile, I think the Crocodile, the Vaporeon, the Poco Mega Medi is good. I just don't see. My thing is like, I like some of these mons, but I'm not sure how much I like it on the team. Like, I think he took Bronzong too early. And I don't even like Bronzong that much on this team.
Yeah,
like,
he did Bronzong round 3. It says Crocodile here, but he did Bronzong round 3.
I don't know. I think he could have gone a better. I think he should have gone Metagross personally. I think Metagross is like way better than fucking.
But Metagross. But the thing with Bronzong is Bronzong with Levitate makes it to where you don't have to share that weakness with Coco, making it to where it's a better partner.
Yeah, that's fair.
Metagross is more offensive.
I'm just not a Bronzong fan personally, but that's still like a lot of Pokemon
that's
out
fine.
there. So.
Bronzong is a good mon, and it's one of those mons where like you either love it or hate it. There's it's just kind of how it is. But next on the list is Cross's team. Now Cross's team is a little controversial when it comes to people looking at his team.
Alright, so I was looking at this team, I'm like, yo, Mega Gallade, Spectre, Togekiss. That's pretty solid. And you got P2 and Rotom Wash to pivot into the Mega Gallade. That's pretty good. You know, Zarude's decent, like, it's okay. And then I looked at the bottom half, I'm like, what the fuck happened? Cross, why? What happened?
Cross's team looks like that he was reading off a script for the first half of his team. He's like, alright, Mega Gallade, Spectre, Togekiss. Perfect. I got the mons that I needed. I got the Crossed Kiss, and I got Spectre and Gallade. Perfect, right? And then he's like, alright, I lost the script. And everything got derailed.
Here's the thing about this team. So Escavalier is great when you pair with a mon that's actually a viable 4x weakness. Zarude doesn't count. Colossal isn't a Pokemon. Everything's running HP Fire. Okay, so in his last picks, he was like thinking, okay, let me look at this team. All right, so I've got a gap of 105 to 80. Let me pick all mons below base 50 speed. You know,
it is like we're laughing about it, but it is actually like ridiculous how the drop is. Literally goes from 105 to 86, and then like after the drop to 80, it just goes to 65. Like it just drops for no reason. Like the top half and the bottom half in speed tiers just make no sense. And the bridge is a Rotom Wash. Rotom Wash isn't a bridge from fucking the hundreds to the 60s. That's not doing shit.
Listen, here's the issue. Three very important typings in the format that are pretty important to draft. He got in the form of a Sandslash, a Scavalier, and a Colossal. That's not that good, unfortunately.
Yeah, I mean,
I think he's gonna rely like so fucking hard on P2 to take every fucking ghost hit for Mega Gallade. It's just gonna fall.
Yeah, because the thing with Zarude
ghost hit is the fucking what it's called.
Zarude.
I think personally, like if you look at this team, like he's got no viable clerics, and when you got a Mega Gallade, having like Togekiss is a decent cleric.
It's decent, but it's not the best. Because...
Yeah, but Togekiss, if Togekiss wants to Wish Pass, it can't run cleric, and it needs a little bit of coverage on this team. I don't know, when you don't have a good cleric with Mega Gallade getting Will-O-Wisp, I think Will-O-Wisp plus Thunderwave spam is just gonna converse to this team.
Yeah.
Those two moves kind of
Yeah.
a lot of them.
Togekiss very rarely wants to really heal Belly. It can run Wish, but it's
Yeah, Cross only wants to run
never
Spark.
really, because it's gonna run what? It's gonna run Roost, Wish, it's gonna have
either
duty
gonna run, like-
boots. Probably
it's gonna run, like,
does it get
Roost,
teleport
Defog,
or,
Air Slash
or just
Power.
just baton pass out? One of the either one.
It's usually just gonna run like Roost, Defog, Air Slash, and Dazzling Lane Flamethrower, or Baton Pass, something like that.
Yeah, the thing with because when you run Roost, you want to when you run Wish, you don't want to run Roost, but you kind of still need to. So it's this awkward kind of pairing. It's an awkward cleric.
Yes. I think the P2's a good mon, but I think he's gonna rely on a little bit too much to take those
Yeah.
hits.
Now talking about the good points about
At
this
least he
team.
got the Spectre.
Yeah, talking about the good points about this team. Spectrier is a special god. As long as the enemy team doesn't have a normal type and a dark type, you're fine.
I mean, he's got Mega Gallade right there to break those.
Yeah, he does have Mega Gallade to break those, but he can't break defensive ghost types. Like, ghost types that can take a hit. Both Spectre and Glade can't hit him. I mean, Glade can knock off, but I mean, like, they can't break them reliably, to say the least. If they get...
Yeah,
Because
the ghost
Spectre
type-
can't take
the
hits.
ghost type-
It just can't. He's gonna have to use sub very often. He's honestly going to have to really rely on like Togekiss hacks
running
some games, and I think it's gonna be rough. It's gonna be rough games from Cross. He will pull some wins. That I did think he will get, but I don't know if there'll be clean wins. So
Yeah.
next on our list is someone who basically took Cross's script and made it worse.
Excuse me. I don't think he took Cross's script. I think what happened here is he didn't come in with the script.
Oh yeah, he probably left his script at home. Probably.
Yeah, no. Listen. He got okay. Weebile's a good mon. It's not a round one, right? He came back like it's not a round one mon, but Weebile's cool. Weebile's fun. It's got a good speed tier. It hits is fast. It hits offensive. Arcanine's a really good fire type, obviously. Nidoqueen is a good ground type. Lycanroc Dusk is a little bit overpriced T2, but it's still a good mon. And then he decided to go Trick Room Mega Banette.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's not that good.
No. Not necessarily. Like fucking my Mega Trick Room is better than Mega Banette. And
No, yours isn't.
it is. But like the thing with Mega Banette is that it's so interesting is that it's got Prankster, right? Like its biggest thing is that like it's a 75 base speed. So in Trick Room it's awkward because anything lower than 60 just does not get lower than Banette. And the fact that it's really just a gimmick Prankster Destiny Bond mon.
Dude, you know what the best is? His removal was my removal in season 4. It's a Conkeldurr.
No, he does have more than that. He does have Cramorant.
Okay, but he has
And
Avalugg.
Avalugg.
And then he's got that clutch Magic Bounce Hattery.
Oh yeah, you're right. The Magic Bounce. I think what pisses me off
Yeah, the
most about
removal-
this team is that his water type is Cramorant. That is his only water type.
Yeah, I think this team, when I was looking at it, I thought it was bad. I thought it was really bad. In fact, I put it in the last. I think I gave it a D-.
You gave it a D, not a D-. You gave it a D.
A D. I was feeling nice. I should have given it an F, but like, feel nice to combat. He drafted Slacking. Enough said. This team is just like
Slacking is his third fastest mon,
it's
Burger.
just garbage.
It's his third fastest
Yeah,
mon.
I know. Like, this team is just bad. It's so garbage. I'm sorry, Cambat. Ugh.
I think
I
I think the worst part
have
about
more
this team
criticism,
is
but
that the
it's so
best
ridiculous.
mons on this team are the weakest mons on this team. Like the what is he gonna do against a ground type? Cramorant is his answer for ground types. It's both his ground immunity
Listen.
and it's his ground answer. When Cramorant is your only answer to the best part or the worst part about your team, you need to rethink things.
Listen, here's the issue. Where he's also in the Lando I division. He doesn't have a switch in.
He does not have
Like
a
Avalugg would
switch.
be able to take physical ground moves.
No,
No,
don't
like-
worry. No. Mega Banette is going to Destiny Bonded. It'll be fine.
Yeah. Alright. So enough on this team. Cambat make some changes, please, for my sanity.
Please.
I think I puked in my mouth a little bit when I looked at this team. All right, you can move on to the next one.
So the next one we have on the list is Skinny's team. Now you weren't exactly very much nicer to Skinny in the sense of what you thought about this team. I, however, thought a little bit differently. I think I like this team a little bit better than most people, just for the sheer fact of, it's really hard to switch into a lot of his mons. Specifically,
Okay,
two of them. So I gave him a B plus.
You
gave him a C plus.
All right. Alright, let me give my essay that Skinny has already heard from me. Alright, so we're looking at this team. So he got like some good breakers. You know, Lando, I, and Tapu Bulu love that switching. What's his fucking pivot? Nothing.
Oh yeah, no, Lando I is his only mon with pivot. And when I was looking and I was making the lists, I originally had Skinny at an A minus. And then I saw that his only pivot was Lando, and I'm like, alright, you're getting docked a grade for that.
Alright. Next issue. So Skinny told me his plan is just sacking Mons to get Lando I in. Your walls are fat walls. They're passive walls. They don't die. Okay, that's not walls.
That's why I got rid of him. That's why I got rid of him. For those of you who don't know, this is obviously we're making fun of the post-draft. He has to keep this team for week 1, but he did make a bunch of changes for week 2, which obviously we will talk about when that happens for when we do PRs then. But specifically right now, we're arguing about his team, and it's just too passive.
Alright, so next up, okay, so Lando I, Megazord X, Bulu, you know, they like some hazard chip. Look at his fucking rockers, it's a Barrage on a Carbink.
Oh, don't forget his Lando can set rocks, even though it will never set rocks, ever.
Next issue, he has a Mega Charizard X and his mover is a Hitmonlee.
You want to think is the funniest part about this team? You want to know what I think is the funniest part about this team? He has grassy terrain with a Lando I. So, Earth Power gets nerfed.
No, Earth Power gets
nerfed. It's Earthquake. It's Earthquake.
No,
Earth Power. Bulldozer.
No, it's not Earth Power. I can guarantee you 1 billion % Earth Power is not nerfing grassy terrain.
Does
I can tell you for a fact.
Power.
That's why he picked it. There's no shot he would have picked grassy terrain.
Affected
it makes sense.
by.
Lando I, Tapu Bulu is a good core on paper. Like, you know, Tapu Bulu breaks the bulky waters, and Lando I can break the bulky poisons and steel type. But, like, you don't have a fucking pivot to get into them. It's never gonna work. You have to sack mons constantly. You're gonna continuously lose. You have to sack games to get your mons in. If anyone has, and Bulu's such an easy mon to check in format, by the way. But if anyone has like a check to your fucking Lando I, you're not gonna be able to continuously claim kills. It just doesn't work correctly. As well as like Megazord X. Megazord X is a fun mon. Like Megazord X is really fun. It just doesn't work correctly. His fastest mon is Lando I at 101 speed. And then Megazord X at 100. It's not worth a B at all. This is a C team. This is a bottom 3 team. You have Lando I and you failed it. Your team got better after the changes,
oh yeah, it definitely got better after the changes, but it also got different.
DDA, please change your ranking.
Get
him off the B+. It's not a B+ team.
So I did. So I also. So I double checked it, and you're right. Earth Power does not get affected by grassy terrain, which I'm actually really happy about because that means camera up just got better.
Fuck, I thought that's why you picked it.
I forgot. Okay, after I drafted, I realized that Earth Power. I thought Earth Power might get affected by it, so I was a little worried about it, and so that's good to know. Regardless, yeah, I unfortunately, Skinny, I will be changing my rank slightly. I will be making it just a flat B minus.
No, yeah. Okay.
I'm not putting it down to C because I still think it deserves a B, but I won't put it to B minus.
It has Lando I, which is like
that's the point. And what's saving him right now is his offensive pressure between Lando I and Charizard X. That's what's saving him right now.
I think Charizard X plus Lando I is not even a good core personally, but I think Boo is the better core with it. Bulu, Lando
I meant like his offensive pressure between those two mons.
Yeah,
Bulu helps defensively with his terrain, but it also helps Zarder X in particular as well. So
I just think it helps break waters pretty well for this team.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so
so for me, thank you for making changes after I ranted about your team.
Yeah. All right, so now it is my team, and this is something this is something that I laughed about before we started doing this. I looked at it like because obviously sent me all of his rankings, and I was so surprised that he put me as low as he did. I was honestly laughing. And he was like, "No, your team's really bad." I'm like, "No, you're biased as fuck because I mega camera upped, and that you'll never put my team above me because of that." And I still stand by that. I still stand by that.
So here's my thing. I don't think your synergy is bad. I just think I hate half of the mons you drafted.
Yeah, that's the thing. You're just biased as fuck. You just hate half the mons.
I don't like the mons. I'm sorry that I don't like the mons. I don't like Holucha. I don't like Melmetal. I don't like Wheezing Galar. I don't like Alolan Persian, and I don't like Mega Camera.
Yeah, it's like you're allowed to not like mods, but you still have to accept the fact that they're good.
I don't think they're good. That's the issue. I don't think they're good.
Well, then that's on your bias, man. That's fine. I'll explain my team since clearly you can't.
No,
so
let me say the bad sides real quick. I gotta give them.
All right. Let's hear him. Let's hear him.
So when Burrger was looking at prep, I was looking that he has no special walls except for Licky Licky, but Licky Licky can get worn down because it's extremely passive. Everything else is physical walls. Nothing is gonna, unless you want to. I mean, Mega Camera, if you want to spit up, is fine, but it's not a solid wall because it doesn't have coverage. I think mons like Melmetal, Rillaboom, and Holucha really appreciate Chip. You have 2 rockers. Mega Camera, I think, is a lot of time going to want to be the Trick Room Sweeper. I think Piloswine's going to be your obligated rocker. Piloswine's a good rocker, but I don't know. I think your removal is not good. Like, I think Rotom is the best remover on this team. I hate Wheezing Galar's remover. Anyone who...
we've actually had this conversation before in a previous season when I've drafted Wheezing Galar. He ranted to me for, I think, over an hour about how Wheezing Galar is not a good defogger. To the point of where, like, we argue back and forth to where he finally admitted, he's like, alright, it's a decent defogger, but I don't like it still. And I'm like, alright.
I don't think it's good at all. I think Wheezing Galar is not a remover that you're going to want to... Most of the time, I think Rotom's going to be the better remover on this team. Because Wheezing Galar, like, if anyone knows my opinion that Wheezing... It's just the fact that it can't pivot out makes it such a bad remover. I think
that's why you don't like it, which is...
I think the speed tiers are not good on this team. I don't think the speed tiers are good on this team. I think...
that I agree with.
From, like,
I agree.
Like, if you're relying on terrain just for priority, it's not good. Your drop is to Rotom. In Rotom, as I said, I think it's going to be the defogger more often than not. I think it's going to run a little bit bulkier more often than not, because this team doesn't switch into flying that well.
It doesn't switch into flying that well?
Yeah, I think Melmetal, unless it's AB, isn't going to be switching. It doesn't switch into flying the best.
I mean, yeah. I mean, like, my team isn't perfect, like, nowhere near. Like,
those are literally my complaints.
I mean, I do have 2 resists for flying because it not only Melmetal resists it, but does Rotom resist flying as well? I'm pretty sure it does.
Yes, I just said I think Rotom's gonna want to run bulkier more often than speed.
Well, yeah.
He's gonna want to resist flying.
True. I'm the first to admit that obviously my team isn't perfect. When I came into this, I wanted a little bit more fun, and I ended up still drafting a really like good team. Because personally, the thing about my team is that it doesn't really need to outspeed a lot of things, specifically because it's just going to hit really hard.
It's fucking terrain trick room bullshit gimmicks that I hate.
Yeah, that's another thing for those of you not watching, or those who are not watching, those who are watching, and for those of you who know Burrger really well, he does not like gimmicks. He likes a mon where it is straight and forward of what they're going to do and why. He does not like mons that rely on other things to do what they do well, and that's what I consider biased in the situation, because that is his personal opinion on that. And I do agree that my team isn't perfect. However, given the fact that I know what I'm doing, given the fact that stuff like that, I would disagree with a lot of his points. However, this is still power rankings, and I wasn't modest with my team per se. I didn't put it in like top 5 or something bullshit like that. However, while I may personally think that, that's not where I put in power rankings, because I took it as a team as a whole. And I consider every team at their best and every team at their worst, which is why I put it A-, because I think at its best, it is a very strong team.
Oh,
however,
God, no. Oh.
However, if you let me finish, I was going to say that I'm changing it slightly. I'm changing it to B+. And the reason why I'm changing it to B+ is because you did make some good points, because I was slightly biased when I gave it an A-, because I didn't want to give my team less than that, because I think it's better than that. But if I'm taking myself out of the equation, I don't think a normal person can buy this team to its fullest effect like I can. So I can't assume that they will. So that's why I'm putting it a B+. And if you want to hear more about why I think what my team has and why it's good, you can watch my draft analysis video, which is also on this page. So I won't go too much into detail again over the mons, but overall, everything go boom. So
And if you wanna hear him complain about his team is bad, watch week 1 when he gets 6-0'd. Okay. Alright.
we all know I'm not gonna get 6. So there's only one season where I did badly against you, and that was, what was it, 2.5? No, that was 2.5. It was 3. Yeah, I had the fucking weirdest team season 3. Oh yeah, that's when I fucking should have sweeped you then. I should have fucking sweeped your ass.
What the hell are you talking about season 3? Season 3 you had the Shell Smash Mega Blastoise.
Yeah, but I didn't really know. I didn't really use it that well. I didn't really build for any battle. I did not use it well. What did I? This is Twee, right?
Yeah. It was awesome.
So, Twee.
Yo, Twee, are we on the Twee now?
Yes, we're on Twee now, so you can talk about Twee real quick.
Twee, you drafted a good team for once.
I know, right? It's scary.
Alright, so Mr. Twee Elephant finally drafted a pretty solid team. And Twee, I'm happy for you. I'm very happy for you. Alright, so let's look at this team. So Mega Scizor, I don't like Mega Scizor that much in Legacy format, but it's still good. I can't say it's not good because it's Mega Scizor. Feeny is insane in this format. I think Feeny is so broken. Tangrowth, Tangrowth is always going to be good, and he got a nice regen core. Like, not the best regen mons with it, but Reuniclus is always going to be nice with it, and the Enchant is another regenerator mon. He's got the Umbreon for nice bulk. It can pass wishes into Feeny, although Feeny can run Dranicus now. It can also pass wishes into the Turtonator, which is pretty fucking solid. The only issues I have with this team, I think the speed is pretty bad on this team. I think it caps, like, Dodrio's his fastest mon. I don't think Dodrio's that good of a mon. Tweet's not that good, I hate to tell you.
he's
and then there's Mienshao, which is... So I think the best mon's probably Mienshao, which Mienshao can run Scarf a good amount of the time, but, like, I think running Scarf Mienshao all the time, not the best. Especially when, Scarf Mienshao really appreciates a lot of chip, and the hazards are not good on this team.
Yeah. The hazard stack of this team's a little rough. Nidoking's almost forced to bring rocks a lot, which it doesn't really want to run rocks a lot. Also, the fact that Alolan Golem can, but then again, a lot of matchups are not going to really need Alolan Golem, so his hazard stack is non-existent. Nidoking's a good rocker, however, for his team specifically, he lacks in a lot of... he lacks in just breaking power in general, really. Obviously, Mega Scizor and Mienshao are pretty good physical brawl breakers, while Nidoking and Tapu Fini with some setup is pretty good as well. Obviously, Reuniclus is also scary if you set it up. But Nidoking, for a lot of his team, Nidoking is forced to go offensive most of the time. Just based off who's in his bracket, and just based off of the fact that this team relies on the power that Nidoking can bring. I think that the Regenerator cores, though, is scary. With Tangrowth, Mienshao, and Reuniclus bouncing back and forth, that's scary. The only bad part about it is that Mienshao's the only one with Pivot. That's the only rough thing, where he has to kind of hard switch into them. And,
he's got Mega Scizor.
Yeah, like, it's not... Well, I meant between his Regenerator mons. Between the three of them, he only has one that can pivot. That's what I was saying. Like, his pivot overall is fine. He's got Mega Scizor, Mienshao, and then technically, like, Alolan Golem. And then a bunch of his other mons, like Umbreon and Dodrio, have Baton Pass, if they want to pivot that way. So they do have it working. So I just think this team is really fat. It's going to be hard to break. But the reason why I gave it a minus... the reason why I give it a minus is just that its offensive power... no matter how many times he disagrees with me, I think the offensive power is less than a lot of what he is against. However, this is still a top team, and no matter how much I've teased you about it, Twee, I still think this is a top team.
I gave him an A, I think.
You did give him an A, yeah.
My thing is, like, I think my thing about this team is, like, this isn't a team I'd ever be able to use, for one. Like, I dislike...
You don't like teams that rely on switching too much.
I don't like... I just don't like that. Like, I think he's got Mega Scizor as a really good pivot, but I don't think it pivots correct. It pivots it into it doesn't. No, it doesn't. Mega Scizor once. Yeah, no, I don't know. I think he paired the mons correctly, but I think I don't know. I think Feeny or Mega Scizor, one of the week is gonna be one of them is gonna be set up. The other one has to be removal, which is a little bit annoying.
Yeah. I think the thing with I think the best thing about this team that is, huh?
I think Stack destroys the team, so I think he needs to run remove on one of them.
True. I think he'll bring Turtonator more often than not, which is Rapid Spin, which means he gets counter up with those ghost types. So I think the strongest thing that's also the weakest thing about this team is the fact that it all relies on Twee. I think this team
relies on Twee.
It is both the strongest and the weakest part of this team because it is literally a make or break of how he preps. Because I think that his momentum is the biggest thing that he needs. If he can win this week 1, specifically against the person we're about to mention next, I think that the Twee will continue snowballing. If he doesn't win this week 1, I think he will be put in his tracks and he will be demoralized a little bit, and it might hurt him. I think this team is easily a contender for playoffs for Shadow, specifically if Twee gets like on a roll. That's my opinion on that. All right. So, speaking of his opponent, we have Ty.
Oh, this team is so
Burger
bad.
does not like Ty's team.
Oh, this team is so garbage.
I'm pretty sure
bro.
Burger. I don't know if you were the one who said this, but someone said to me that this is the worst team they've seen Ty draft ever.
This team is so fucking ass, bro. This team is garbage. This is easily the worst team he's ever drafted. No shot, bro. It's not as bad as Cambets, at least, okay? Right? Is that a start?
I don't think anyone's going to be worse than Cambets.
Okay, so let's talk about the team. Alright, so round 1 Manaphy. I'm like, okay, he's got Manaphy. He's getting that Z Crystal. Manaphy is insane with a Z Crystal. And he doesn't give with the fucking Z move. Manaphy without Z move as your round 1, that mon is going undrafted. And he picked a round 1. Okay, Infernape. Infernape is a great mon. Infernape is awesome. Manaphy, this format without Z moves is it's not that good this format anymore. It's decent, but it really relied on those Z moves to actually start putting a little bit of pressure on. Raikou is not good in this meta at all. It really, a lot of times when you run Raikou, it wants to run like Calm Mind, Sub-Calm Mind, or just Sub-Toxic, but it needs 3 moves half the time. Florges is disgustingly bad in this meta. It may be one of the worst Pokemon in this meta. He did snipe me on it because I wanted a fat berry. It works on this team. It makes sense why he picked it on this team. But it's in this meta, you want to pick berries that actually have a little bit of coverage. Just due to the nature of Florges. More abusing the more offensive teams compared to the bulky teams. And I think this meta is pretty favored towards bulk. Fortress is garbage. It's so bad.
I always find it really funny how you just have this like extensive passive-aggressive hateness for certain mons, regardless of what they do or what they have. You just have this like this random hatred for certain mons. What did a Florges do to you, Burger? What did a Florges do to you?
Florges didn't do anything to me. I don't think Florges. I've used Florges before. I used it in Gen 7 meta. Florges in Gen 8, it's just, I don't know. I've seen it perform, and it's never performed well for me. Maybe Ty will be able to use it well. He's probably throwing like Sub-Calm Mind every week, but
doubtful, given that Florges is one of his only 2 removals. Florges and Fortress are his removal, so
only 2 removals, and Fortress is a bad mon, so like he doesn't have removal.
Florges is some bad, or Fortress is some bad mon. I mean, it is, okay, but I'm still laughing about it.
Then you got a fucking Dusknoir. There's like 20 better ghosts in T4 than Dusknoir. I think Dusclops is better than Dusknoir.
Oh, I agree. I think he got Dusknoir for something in particular. I'm not sure why. I personally, I'm not sure why he went Dusknoir over Dusclops. Maybe because Dusclops is knockoff prone, and that Dusclops loses its extreme bulk from a knockoff, whereas Dusknoir doesn't. But I would still rather Dusclops.
Alright, Mesprit's really good. Mesprit is a super good T4. Mamoswine, I think Mamoswine's awesome.
Mesprit, Mamo, perfect. I don't know why he went Guzzlord.
Guzzlord is like, Guzzlord's mediocre, but Guzzlord's not terrible. Like, I've used Guzzlord.
He could have done so much better. Like, I think he grabbed...
But then he picked fucking Mega Sceptile.
Mega Sceptile, I think, is fine, but not with Guzzlord. I think he needed a, like... I think, okay, the thing with Mega Sceptile is that it's not a good mon. However, it can be a good mon in the right circumstances, because obviously Mega Sceptile has really good special attack, but no coverage, right? That's its biggest thing. It's only got grass, dragon, and fighting type.
Ass on this team? Look at his fucking ground resist. It's a Mesprit. That's it.
No, Sceptile resists ground as well. I mean, it doesn't need any speed invest.
It doesn't take shit though.
What do you mean? It does nothing less than 75 defense is
Why
his
do I have 9
lowest.
plus pings?
What is what?
Someone's spamming me. Okay, never mind.
Oh.
Alright, back to the team. No, this team is super fucking ground weak. This team, I hate, I can't admit this team is ground weak as fuck. He's got a fortress. Dude, like, it's just, it's so...
Maybe we should get a brown bag for Burger because I think there's a cleanup on aisle 3. But regardless, though, yeah, it's not a good team. It's an interesting team, though. It's a tie team. Specifically, a tie team. And I am...
Please change the user.
Huh?
Change the user to fucking Manaphy.
Yeah, actually, he has it right now in a different name, which... I'm curious as to why. Like Manaphy is better because obviously you want to do Z Rain, so you get Rain up and get a +1 in speed, and you just destroy people. Infernape, though, I guess it's because of how much coverage Infernape has. Infernape has a lot of coverage. It's a very, like, reliable Z user.
Bro,
Like, but
no.
you don't want to run Z often, just because of the fact of there's a lot of other things you want to put on this mon.
No, the issue with it is Infernape's like the fucking pivot on this team. Nothing else is good as pivots. Raikou can't run pivot in this
Well, Raikou pivots, Fortress pivots, Mesprit pivots.
Florges doesn't pivot. Florges is his fucking defogger.
I bet I said Fortress, not Fortress.
Oh, Fortress? Oh, yeah, but Fortress is also bad.
Fortress is Fortress pivots as well.
I forgot that Fortress is bad, though. So,
I forgot.
Okay.
You forgot that he was bad?
Alright, so here's the thing. Ty drafted 3 good mons this season. He drafted Infernape, he drafted Mesprit, and he drafted Mamoswine. The rest of the team is garbage.
Oh yeah, Manaphy
Ty
gets
don't
U-turn
want
as well. I forgot about that.
Yeah, but I wish he gave it a fucking Z Crystal. It'd be good.
True. I agree. I wish you give
What
it a
was
Z
your ranking
crystal.
on this team, DDA? Please don't say it was anything above a C.
It was exactly C.
Okay, I gave it like a C.
You gave it a C minus. I gave it a C. The only reason why I didn't give it a C minus is because I think that there's
Nothing.
Yeah, I think it's just it's the stat. It's a C. I'm a little bit nicer when it comes to these power rankings. That's probably why. Well, either way, continuing on
Sorry,
to
Ty, your team is amazing.
going on to Mitch's team. Now, this is something that we also disagree with a little bit.
I think Mitch's
You
team is
actually
pretty
like
good.
Mitch's team a bit, which I was honestly surprised to hear.
I think Mitch's team is. I think Mitch's team is like. I don't know, bro. Like, I was looking at the team and like, Mega Mawile is really nice. Obviously, Mega Mawile is great. Mega Mawile Latios is. It's just a good core. Like, you want to have a nice, strong offensive core, and I just think he got a lot of good Pokemon. Like, I think. I don't like his walls that much. I don't like Mantine and Donphan as their best walls. I think Mantine's pretty bad in the format.
Mm-hmm.
I think Donphan is meh without a Wish Passer. I don't think he has a Wish Passer on this team. My issues with the team, I'm really mad he didn't grab Double Steal with Mega Mawile. I think Mega Mawile really wants Double Steal to be effective. And the fucking Breloom. Not a good Pokemon, Mitch. Hate to tell you. Alright, you can go.
Yeah. Like, I don't like this team. I honestly like. You like this a little bit more, but I just don't. Like, Mega Malo is nice and all, but there was this calc that I was doing with Twee. I'm not gonna say it just because I don't want to spoil his game plan, but like, Mega Malo does not hit as hard as he should be on certain mons. I'll DM it to you after. But like, it's just. Like, his mons have a lot of interesting things. Like, Donphan's a fun mon, Pengoro's a fun mon, Salazzle, Latios are all fun. Tornadee, Breloom, all fun. But not good, per se. There's a reason why Breloom got lifted down, even though Breloom, honestly, is a pretty good value at Tier 3. However, he brought Breloom back in Season 1, and I don't know, do I gotta bring Shiinotic out? Like, I can give you some nightmares. But, I don't know. Like, he has no wish passing on a team that relies on fat a little bit. Like, Diancie, Mantine, Donphan all rely on the fact that they can take hits to stay in the game. Mantine at least has self-recovery, but is really the only one. And Mega Malo as well, he doesn't have a safe way to get Mega Malo in. He just doesn't. Like, his pivot is Tornadee, Parting Shot with Pangoro, and that's it. That's really it.
He's got Thundy.
I meant to say Thundy. I apologize. But yeah, his only pivots is Thund and fucking Pangoro. That's his only pivots to Mega Mawile. And neither one of them are that good. I mean, Parting Shot is probably the best pivot he's got into Mega Mawile. But of course, like, I don't know. I just feel like when I'm looking at this team and I just don't see anything special, realistically. I don't think they really synergize too well. Maybe a little bit.
Yeah,
I guess that's just kind of me. I don't know.
I think the team is I think the team is quite ice weak. It's the only other thing I'll point out.
It's got 4. It's weak. It's got 4 that are weak, 2 that resists.
Unfortunately, the resist Salazzle's not bulky.
It's Salazzle and Mega Mawile.
And you don't want to. I think the one other thing is I think Mega Mawile's really too much on being a bulky steal on this team. And it just doesn't feel
this team just screams, "Hey, I'm Mamoswine weak," and that's about it. Like,
every team is Mamoswine weak.
I feel like, yeah, Mamoswine is just awkward typing where like just everything's weak to Mamoswine. It's weird. I don't know why. Except for Slowbro. Slowbro was goated. But regardless, moving on here. Next we have the U.S. presidents.
You know, honestly, just like you said about that team, there's just nothing outstanding about the team. There's nothing like crazy good about this team. It's just good Pokemon. All this. I don't know. The team just feels weird to me. It feels really weird to me. Like, you know, he's got Victini, Corviknight, Sylveon, and a Mega Pidgeot. You know, like, those are all good Pokemon. I don't like Araquanid that much. It's not bad, though. Nihilego's cool. I don't know. I don't remember what I disliked about this team. I just remember not liking it so much.
Yeah, this was that other team that I really didn't like. I put it at C. Like, I think this is a bottom team. Like, outright.
Like a B minus.
The thing with this team is that just nothing on his team actually wants to take a hit. Like, worse than Mitch's team, right? Like,
oh yeah, you're right.
Like, what in the world is this team doing? Like, Sylvia, when like Corviknight can take defensive hits, sure. Araquanid and Nihilego and Sylveon, I guess, are his special defensive. Like, I don't know. It just, his whole team just feels like I'm gonna try to get Victini in anytime I can, and if I lose Victini, I lose the game.
Yeah, I think Corviknight is like, I think Corviknight's so good in the format, but like I think he relies on it so hard to remove the fucking rocks for this team. This team is so rocky.
His removal is Corviknight, Pidgeot, and Eldegoss. I'm sorry, Eldegoss. Eldebra.
Here's the issue with with this team. Like, Corviknight's really good, but it's his only physical wall. Nothing else can take physical hits. Nihilego's got like 20 to 50.
Yeah, like, Scrafty is his only best backup, and that's because Intimidate, and it's got a base 115 defense.
Yeah,
that is all.
Scrafty can get worn down pretty easily unless it's pressed.
Extremely easily. Like, he doesn't have a fighting type switch in, except for this ghost type one.
Yeah, fighting type actually looks pretty hard. Like, a banded fighting user against this team looks pretty hard.
Like, he has to hope to dear God that they don't click something that kills Araquanid or Sylveon, because if they have a banded fighting type with like Thunder Punch, just wrecks this team.
He has Golurk as well.
That's what I just said. Golurk is ghost type is his only switch into the fighting types.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I was saying, like, a fighting type, like, Golurk is so heavily his only answer to a banded fighting type with, like, electric coverage.
I mean, yeah, Golurk is also going to be, like, his sole rocker.
Yeah, well, no, he's got rocks in Nihilego, too. Nihilego
but I think the thing about Nihilego is, like, I feel like a lot of the times on this team,
I
think a lot of times you need to run his Scarf on this team. I think it might not.
It's got a 103. It's going to outspeed all the hundreds. So it's like decent. I think it will run Scarf sometimes, specifically the times where Victini can't be Scarfed. I think. I don't know. I feel like this team is gonna really struggle in the future.
Yeah, I guess. I thought the team was fine. I didn't think it was as bad as he thinks it is. I think it's got. I mean, I won't say too much about like what I liked about it, but I thought there was some pretty cool pieces to it.
The biggest thing I guess that I really hated about this team was that when you look at its like type chart. It has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different types where 3 or more mons share that. I don't like that. He has too many mons that have too many shared weaknesses, in my opinion. And whenever that happens, that's rough because it's really hard to prep for that when all of your mons are weak to everything.
Yeah.
But
I think team's okay.
So now let's get into like the bottom good teams, shall we? Next we have Solo.
Solo team's pretty cool.
Solo's team is a solo team.
What was your ranking for it?
Solo's team, I think I gave it an A-. Yeah, I gave it an A-. You gave Solo a B plus, so
I
we're
think my
pretty
issue with
close.
Solo's team was the hazards. Like he only has mud rock.
That was honestly, I almost put him B plus because of that, just alone. But the rest of his team kind of makes up for that because like he doesn't rely on needing rocks. A lot of his mons don't need to break others with rocks. Plus he's got hail, so he has some chip damage in that as well. So I think rocks aren't necessarily plus because of how HO Solo usually plays. I don't think rocks is really necessary, and Mudstale is a very reliable rocker. However, that means he can almost never run Assault Vest on it, or like lefties, or really anything like that. And no Wish Passer as well. It's really gonna rough him up a bit.
I think what was my thing on this team? I don't even remember. I like this team. I think it's a cool team. Like Megalop is pretty good, obviously.
Yeah.
I think it's, and I'm not. I think it's a little bit.
I love Aegislash too. It's the mon that it is the only mon that has the most resistances in the game, including its immunities, obviously.
Cool. I like Aegislash. Aegislash is a fun mon in the format. I don't like Azumarill that much. I don't like Zyger 10 either. I know why he picked Zyger 10. Makes sense why he picked Zyger 10. I don't think it's good though, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Especially HP meta.
I agree. I agree with that.
I think this team is just like.
I think it's Ice Week.
I don't know, bro. He's gonna have to bring aromatherapy on fucking Serena every week because everything just gets fucking Will-O-Wisp besides the Rotom, and they lose once they get Will-O-Wisp. Like this team is.
It's rough. It's rough to say the least. Yeah. I definitely. I think this is one of those teams that like. I'm actually gonna change my. I'm gonna change my ranking. I'm gonna change this to a B plus because was another example of. I looked at this team and I meant, man, there's so many things Solo can do with this team, but I thought of it as because Solo has it, not because like for example, if I had this team,
it would go.
I would think it would be a B plus because I don't think I could use it to an extent. I love Aegislash, don't get me wrong, but I like Lumpity. I always feel is like a little underwhelming sometimes. I'm not,
I think Lop really wants hazards.
I'm not the big like I am like when it comes to Azumarill. Like I love Azumarill. Like Belly Jump just sweeps teams and Paris Trapping sweeps teams. Sap Sipper really works, but I don't really think Azumarill is paired well with anything here. In particular, I mean, I guess Thick Fat is good against for Aegislash, and it can take the fighting type moves, but it doesn't take anything else. I mean, it takes the dark type moves, I guess, but like, and then obviously Lumpity's to switch it for Ghost, but what is this switch in for Ground? Rotom? Serena? That's it?
Yeah.
So, and also Rotom Heat is almost always going to be default. I don't think he's really going to want to run Rapid Spin on Serena very often because Serena's going to want to run aromatherapy or just be Assault Vested like he did. Was it? Yeah, Solo run Serena last season, right? Or was that Virizion? No, he ran a Virizion. Or was that Curse? I forget.
Curse. I don't know who I'd fucking Serena. I don't think even want to draft with and beat Neil.
Yeah, just overall, like I think it's a good team, but I think it's more because it's Solo, not because it's a good team.
Yeah, it's a decent team. You picked the goated Behemoth, so you know how that goes.
Yeah. So
alright, Spooks' team.
Spooks' team.
Alright, so you know you gotta look at like his first 6 plus the Glaceon, you know that's good, and the rest of the team is garbage.
You really don't. You ranked him above Solo.
I should not have. Move him to a B plus for me.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. I regret putting him at an A minus. I remember looking.
I don't. I'm keeping him at A minus.
I know Spooks likes Gabite, right? I know.
I actually was gonna draft Gabite too. That's the funny part. If I didn't draft Piloswine, I would have drafted Gabite. I give him an A minus.
I'll give him a B plus.
Yeah.
I think like, listen. I don't know, bro. I can't get behind fucking Zero Aura this gen. It's just, it kills me. It's a good
You don't
mon,
like it, which I think it's hilarious.
It's a good mon. I can't say it's a bad mon. Zero Aura is good. Like
it's
Mega
not.
Deontay, Celesteela, Greninja, Zero Aura, Roserade, and Silval, insane. Like, great, that's insane. He's got probably the best speed tiers in the draft. Like,
probably, honestly, like he goes from 143 to 122 to 110 to 105, then to 95, 90. The biggest drop is from 82 to 70. That's his biggest drop.
I don't know, bro. Fucking Hoopa and Rapidash. I drafted Rapidash once. Came to one game.
Yeah, I think he drafted Rapidash specifically for the Flash Fire for Celesteela and Roserade. and
Yeah,
Glacial. However, Rapidash is only going to come when he needs a fire immunity, because Savali can be whatever type he needs it. So if he needs a good fire type, he's just bringing Savali. So I think that works fine.
That's my issue with that. I think. I think Silvally is gonna have to be water and fairy most of the time because he doesn't have a good bulky water or a good bulky fairy.
I think what personally sets this team back the most is that Savali is his only form of hazard removal. He's relying on Magic Bounce.
He only has one rocker. He only has Gap Bite as a rocker.
No, Mega Diancie is also a rocker.
Oh yeah, I always forget I run Mega Diancie's rocks all the time. I don't know why I always forget.
Yeah, so he's got 2 Spikers, 2 T-Spikers, and 2 Rockers. He's got... Huh?
The hazards are not terrible.
Yeah, no, he's got really good hazards. Not in rocks, but he's got good hazards. Gabite is honestly a really good low tier mon. Like with Eviolite and just the fact that it's a rough skin mon, it's doesn't even have bad stats. Like it's not even that bad. It's really good. And it has like decent coverage, so like I think Gabite's like honestly a really good low tier. I was honestly considering it. Say what?
I think Glacian's an underrated mon. I think Glacian's really good.
I also think Glacian's underrated. However, the reason why I think it's underrated is because its stats don't reflect its typing. I think if it was specially defensive, not physically defensive, it would be a better mon. But because it's physically defensive, I don't like it as much. Say what?
I think if it wasn't an ice type, it would be better.
Well, yeah. I'm saying aside from its ice typing, I would have rather special defensive.
I think Hoopa's ass. Maybe Spooks will do something with it.
I think he drafted Hoopa because he wanted to draft a Hoopa because Hoopa is a tier fucking 3 with 150 base special attack. That thing is scarfing every UTA it comes, and it is hitting something hard. Ghosted Psychic type as an offensive special attack stab is going to wreck teams. There are not a lot of teams that have good ghost coverage, especially in his division. Normal type is really the only thing that can stop him, but he has Focus Blast. So, yeah. I think what really would have helped this team better is a good fighting type to break for Hoopa, if he really wanted to go through that.
Yeah, that's fair. I don't know. I just think
Savali just works so good on this team too, because like it literally fixes any problem that he needs for a matchup.
He is the best top half in the draft, easily.
Yeah. I think the reason why I like Savali, like, just as a mon, like, I've wanted to draft Savali more than I have. It's just the thing with Savali is that it does literally everything you want it to do, because it fixes any hole you have in your draft, because while you're probably going to have more than one hole in your draft when you make a draft plan, specifically for this team, the problems that he probably will only have 1, maybe 2 at max per matchup. And Savali can fix it. And that's dangerous. That's really dangerous. And I like it. I just don't like that it's only defogger. I think that's what sets it back the most. But regardless, continuing on with our second to last player, we have the Chicago Shamans. Panda. Panda's team is really good.
Panda's team is goated as fuck. Panda is on crack this season. He is Rain Torn T with Dracovish.
Yeah.
I like Panda's team a lot. I think Regigigas is a good T5, dude.
Regigigas T5 with getting protected toxic, I think was an oversight by us. Personally.
Yeah, Regigigas is really nice.
I think you left mod after we did tiers, so we both missed it, but I completely forgot that Regigigas got both protect and toxic. Okay, I think we should have put it tier 4, realistically.
I agree. Here's the thing. Sloken Galar, Panda was very smart taking that round 2 because he knew I was gonna take it round 3.
Oh yeah.
If I didn't take it, because I was like 1,000,000,000% gonna grab Sloken Galar. It's such a good mon. Future Sight with Sloken Galar with Dracovish, like, oh, this team looks. Listen, this team looks just fun. It looks so fun to use, but it looks good at the same time. What were the issues with this team? The team.
Let's go over the issues. Only rocker is Steelix.
I mean, yeah.
Does not have a cleric to its name. No wish passer, only aromatherapy, and that's on Alcremie.
Alcremie's fine as a cleric. He's not gonna be able to really run it any other way.
Like, for hazard removal, he's got Rotom Fan and Torrent-T, both weak to ice, which kind of like hurts, but they're at least reliable in that sense. But Torrent-T is going to be very rarely used as his defogger. It's almost exclusively going to be Rotom. And then his speed. Speed is just not there.
It's fine.
It's rough.
Totally
Regigigas is his second fastest mon, and
fine.
it has slow start.
No,
So I'm not including Regigigas as a speed tier, so his drop is 121 to 86.
Yeah,
That's a 40 plus drop.
I don't know, bro. Panda, it's not a good drop. I think this team looks really good though. Like Incineroar is like such a brain dead pivot into some of these mons like Dracovish.
Yeah, like his saving grace is that his team is hard to switch into.
And he's
Like
got
Torrentee, Dracovish, and even Glass Tier under Trick Room, which he does have with Slowking Galar. It's he also has Z-Tor. Like overall, this team is scary, but God forbid, Panda, nothing's outspeeding you. Or I'm sorry, you're not outspeeding shit. I think he went a little bit overboard into the Trick Room territory, even though he's probably barely gonna bring it. I think he'll bring it to like a game, maybe max.
Yeah, I don't know. Panda's got a.
I think that's if he's gonna lose a game, it's because he can't outspeed anything. He's gonna be forced to scarf mons a lot. Yeah. Dracovish is almost only gonna be scarfed. He can't run banded very often. Unless against unless it's slow teams like Tweez or something. Fucking I don't know. He's gonna have to like you want to run leftovers on like Rotom when he's like defensive, but you may have to run offensive Rotom with Scarf. Like
no, I think he's gonna have to make that's probably gonna be his defogger most of the time.
That's what I was saying though. Like he wants to bring a defogger, but Rotom's like his best scarfer on his team. Like, who else is he gonna scarf? Other than Dracovish.
Bro, you are not ready. Scarf Glastrier. He's gonna Dude, I don't.
He's gonna outspeed what?
Bro, I bet you Scarf Glastrier doesn't even outspeed fucking Azumarill.
Let's find out. Glastrier with Choice Scarf. The max he can hit with max attack Jolly is 261.
Oh, it's so bad, bro.
Azumarill max speed.
That doesn't even outspeed like fucking Garbodor.
Is 218, but that's base 50. So like, what? Let's do base 60. Let's find out. Can you outspeed base 60? Yes. Can you outspeed base 70? Oh, that's 170. Whoops.
No way can outspeed base 80. 80 is 284. But yeah, we don't need to talk about fucking Scarf Glastrier anymore. Alright.
It can't outspeed base 70 mons. It gets outsped by base 70.
That's very sad. Panda.
That's rough.
Panda, if I were you, I'd bring Scarf Glastrier.
I would not. His Politoed outspeeds Scarf Glastrier.
I think Torrentee, Slowking Galar, Generator Core, and Slowking Galar is just goated in this form.
Oh yeah, no, like when it comes to defensiveness, this team just strives. Fucking Incineroar, Slowking Galar, Torrentee is going to be amazing. The only problem is that with Rain up, Incineroar is going to be a little bit less effective, and Steelix doesn't want to really come out when Rain's happening. And that's like the only problem, is that since Steelix is only Rocker, it's only Steel and Ground type, and, you know, he's going to have a little trouble making sure that he can take care of certain mons under Rain. So, I think that's the only thing he's got to be really careful about, but otherwise this team's dangerous as fuck. So, the last on our list is Boop.
Bro, Boop, you drafted a good team.
Boop,
Let's go.
like Twee, finally decided to draft a good team.
Listen, this is the most brain-dead Rain team I've ever seen in my life, and it's so good.
Yeah, honestly, it's really fucking good.
Like, he's got the standard Rain core of Zapdos, Ferrothorn, Mega Pert, Pelipper. Like, that's the best.
Yeah, that's your standard core, and then he has, you know, your secondary Rain Sweeper and Poliwhirl. He originally had Caputo, but he needed something to switch into fucking Dracovish. So Poliwhirl has Water Absorb, so he's good on that note.
He's got like, I don't know, like he's got a lot of hazards. Ferrothorn's obviously the main.
He doesn't have a lot of hazards. He just has.
Hazards, but it's good hazards.
He's got Ferrothorn, Druddigon, and Swampert. Swampert's rarely gonna run rocks with Druddigon and Ferrothorn. Gonna be up. No. I'm not saying it's not a good rocker. I'm saying he's rarely gonna run it with Ferrothorn and Druddigon being his other rockers. He has two other reliable rockers, both of which, funny enough, he has two Iron Barb / Rough Skin mons. So when it comes to defensive, he's really got defense down. I think special defense is where he's gonna really like kind of struggle with, which is why he's got Gardevoir and Cryogonal.
Yeah, I
Just a
Boop
go-to
also really
team.
likes his Cryogonal. So, you know.
I mean, Freeze Dry runs this team dry, but that's for every rain team.
Yeah.
And I think Liberio Reboot is actually a really good idea for fire type because it's a fire type that doesn't need to stay fire type.
I told him to get it. Okay, only thing I'll say is team will be a little bit ice weak. That's why he got Cryogonal. And what was the other thing? The speed control is just not good outside of rain, but obviously rain's the main purpose of the team. If you don't have rain up, this team will definitely struggle, but otherwise, like, it's good. I like that you got Obstagoon a lot. I think Parting Shot could be some of these monsters nice. And I think Zapdos and Mega Purr are just monsters in rain. And I think Gardevoir is a really nice pick because Gardevoir like hard counters rain because it can trace Split Swim.
I agree.
I think Boop drafted a good team. I think he drafted a really nice team. Excited to see how he does with it. I'd like to see if he can do well this season.
Yeah. So
Finally drafted the ring.
so now I will give the actual rankings for everything real quick. Let me just.
Bro, I still can't rank them, bro. If anyone knows my ranking, I literally my 7 through 10.
Yeah, you literally just made your 7 through 10 like interchangeable.
Yeah, so these are all interchangeable. I said they're all good.
Yeah, I just gotta switch some things over. So let me hide the grades and the PRs and start posting up the rankings. This is gonna look odd as fuck.
I can't see his screen, so I have no clue.
I know. He can't see it, so it's just me fixing it right now. Man, they made it so fucking
This is what it was like
big.
when I recorded videos.
This is exactly what it's like when you record videos.
You just hearing the person talking, just doing shit, and you don't know what they're actually doing. Yeah, that happens. Maybe I will record this season, who knows.
You should.
Man, recording takes so much effort, bro. Like,
I think it's like good effort though. It's like one of those efforts where like it's like kind of worth it.
Is it?
I mean, I like recording a bit. Let me put in your rankings now. All right. So what do you have changed here? So you have this changed. You have this like little just switched. So just.
Are we doing weekly PRs? DDA hasn't told me anything.
I mean, probably bi-weekly. I don't know about weekly. We'll decide. I guess it's really just up to you. Do you want to do weekly?
I don't.
Do you think we should do weekly, or do you think we should do bi-weekly?
If you, you're the one recording. I don't make decisions for shit this season.
You're just lazy as fuck this season.
Yeah, this season I get to be the lazy one. I didn't make any of. Shout out to Twee.
Yeah, Twee did make these. He will be linked in the description.
Last season, because I deleted them for some reason.
Yeah, I don't know why you did that.
Then I tried to make my makeshift graphic because Twee forgot about Ty's team, and then Twee sent DDA as soon as I made.
I told you he won. I told you he fucking won.
I wasted 30 minutes of my fucking life, dude. Oh my lord. Okay, but yeah. No, I was gonna wait for DDA to do whatever he's doing.
We could revals, then this one.
I hope the audio is working. If it isn't, it'll be bad.
What's going on?
I did watch the audio not work.
The audio should work.
Should.
Oh yeah, and then you had this team all the way up there for some fucking reason. You just really liked fucking Mitch's team.
Bro, Mitch just seems pretty good. It's not a bad team. I think it's pretty solid. And you liked like your team, like oh.
We actually didn't have that much difference in our ratings. Just like a couple. There was like one or two people that we just drastically thought differently on.
Wait, did Twee also do rankings?
So Twee is actually sending me his actual ranking. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get it and put it in the description for those who's curious. I was gonna put it like as a side annotation, but since he didn't give it to me, I'm just gonna do it after. Yeah. And then the bottom two teams we agreed with. Okay. Doop and boop, boop, boop. All right. So burgers are oh god damn it! I swapped them. All right. So Burger's rankings are on the left. My rankings are on the right. So, I'll go over Burger's first. Burger did the wait. Yeah, I'll get that. Burger did Fly Gun first, which is what I did as well. Then Boop second, which is I did as well. T at third, which we both agreed with. Exo at fourth, which we both agree with. Then we flip-flopped Spooks and Panda. Boop put Spooks, then Panda. I put Panda, then Spooks. Burger then put himself, Solo, then North. I put Solo, myself, then North. Then he put Mitch at 10, me at 12, Cross at he put Mitch at 10, me at 11, Cross at 12. I put Burger at 10, I put Cross at 11, I put Skinny at 12. Then he made 13 and 14 being the presidents, and then Skinny. I did the 13, and then that says 15, but it should be 14. Let me just fix that real quick. I did.
Bro, on God, type might be worse than Canvas.
14's 14 being U.S. presidents. Then we both agreed that the final two teams are Ty and Cambat, with Ty being second to last and Cambat being last. All right, so sorry for the ghetto as fuck ending for this. I just wanted to make sure to get this out as fast as possible, so it's not as pretty as it could have been, but oh well. We'll see how fucking fucked up the power rankings are for the future, but hopefully we'll make it well. So thank you all for watching. Thank you very much for Twee for doing the graphics for this. It was very, very helpful because Burger was too lazy to do it himself.
Indeed.
Even though he did one all by himself with no problem, but then got immediately denied. So thank you very much. If you liked the video, please leave a like and subscribe. Is there anything else you'd like to say before we leave, Burger?
Are we gonna play our week 1 match today?
Hi. All right. Thank you all for watching. See you guys next time.